Hi, Southgate. This is Tammy and my producer grandson Levi.
It's Ryder.
It's not either. Anyway, we said we'd be back, and we haven't not been busy while we were gone. We've all gone through COVID and pretty much stay at home and wearing our mask and not going out. But we have been doing behind the scenes work. We have going to have a video by Debbie Egan Randall, who went to Tweedy Elementary with Michelle Morrison Burside and Debbie Vergevin and I and some others that you guys know. And her son she went in for a small procedure last year and almost didn't come out. In fact, everybody thought that was the end. But through a miracle, she somehow made it. So she's going to share that experience tomorrow. I've told others of you to send me some videos too. Meanwhile, he's been reading. Did you find anything interesting about Southgate you want to share?
Like I said in one of the other 100 videos, no.
We really have done 100 videos. Okay, so I'm going to tell you real quick the early history just so we get that out of the way so everybody knows. 1796 Spanish explorers set out from San Diego coast, and they were going to go from San Diego to Monterey, but the Bay of Monterey. But Father Juan Crispy went the general direction of San Gabriel Valley and the LA River and decided that he really liked it. And there were two villages of Native Americans, or Indians as they called them, and they were the Gabrielinos. And I couldn't find what the other one was, unfortunately. Also, I didn't know that there had been an earthquake in Southgate in 1933 that took lives and destroyed many buildings.
Earthquake?
Mm-hmm.
How big was this earthquake? Do you know magnitude?
I didn't know. I don't know. You can find the magnitude if you want to. That'll be a good thing for you. Anyway, so 1918, there was 125 houses built, general direction of San Gabriel Valley. 1918, those 125 houses had about 500 people in the area between Long Beach, it looks like it was Long Beach Boulevard and maybe Otis. The first elementary, believe it or not, was in 1919, and it was State Street. So those of you that went to State Street. But it also serviced other towns like Huntington Beach Park, areas around there and stuff. All right. In 1904, Weiser was the leading hardware store in all of the world. At that time, hard to believe. We incorporated Southgate, yes.
I thought the first elementary school would have been Tweed.
No, that comes later. I'm not sure, but they were all in that direction towards San Gabriel, so it was State Street, unfortunately. I know a lot of you went to State Street, and I'm not saying anything bad about your school, so you can let us know how it was going there. Southgate was incorporated January 20th, 1923. Southgate straddles both the LA River, the 710 bounded by a 110 on the west, 105 on the south, and 5 along the northeast. Pacific Ocean is only 10 miles away, but for those of you that surf or go to the beach, it probably seems a lot farther than that because there's so much traffic nowadays. Okay, so there's a southeast portion that's known as Hollydale. It was annexed by Southgate. I know when we first got married, we had moved to Hollydale, which was still considered Southgate. You guys know how that kind of came in, and there was the dog pound there. Also, it's now known as the Azalea City. They started that in 1965. They had a Hoot Owl Cafe. I could not find anything. It was taken down in 1977. If anybody knows what the Hoot Owl Cafe is,
What's a cafe?
Are you hungry?
I am hungry. Did I just ask what a cafe is?
It looked like an owl.
I know what a cafe is.
Okay. In 1990, it won All-American City. That was after most of us were out of school or out doing something. The first California family were the Don Lugos. He had a large area of land. I think it was given to him from the king, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be mistaken. I was once. 1910 to 1940, it was agricultural land, was replaced by homes and factories, selling plots to blue-collar workers. Okay, Tweedy family, just where Tweedy comes in. When I grew up, my first house, yes.
What's blue worker called?
Blue-collar workers are like people that work in factories. They don't have a good degree, but they work really hard and make pretty good money, like factories, service stations, that kind of thing. Sorry, other things too. But the Tweedy family, born in 1812, came by wagon in Illinois. Now, I found this really funny. Mrs. Tweedy rode across the prairie, perched in a rocking chair in a cart. They were a very large family, and they had about 2,000 acres. Southgate Assembly, 1936, 1950s. GMG was the highest productivity plant. 1950s, that closed. I didn't even know we had a plant like that. 1982, Amelia Lockhart. You know the answer to this one?
Amelia Earhart is what you mean.
Yes. Sorry.
Lockhart or whatever you just said.
Okay. What did she do?
She was like one of the first women flyers to go
Okay.
in the world.
And where did she learn to fly from?
Los Angeles.
Southgate.
I'm just kidding. Southgate.
And where she learned to fly from, believe it or not, where they taught us driver's training, was Century Boulevard in Long Beach there. All right, Southgate High School, we built it. It was built in 1932. We'll have pictures. I know some of you have some great pictures. I know Victor does. A lot of people have pictures, but I want to get them so that they show kind of like a film sort of. So if anybody knows how to do it, he says he does, but I haven't seen it yet. 1950 was Firestone Tires. 1940 Schultz Steel. 1930 Star Roofing. I think that's over on Firestone, and because I know that when I worked for Waste Management, we used to dump their trash. I worked selling the big containers, and I think that roofing company's still there. And 1962, Cal Worthington Dodge, and if anybody can remember what his saying was, hit the button and let me know.
Always like and subscribe.
Oh, yes, that's true. Like and subscribe. I don't know what good that does, but okay. And then as things changed in the 1990s, Hispanic working class started. All right. I did find, and I don't know if anybody can get hold of Larry Vasquez, but I did find they seem to have been a prominent family in Southgate. I found a picture of them and her with an old car, and Larry was there, and she passed away, it looked like, in 2019. But it was kind of interesting. They seem like one of the families that had been around forever. The Depression slowed, but industry, new arrivals during what they call the Dust Bowl. I think that's when my grandmother came, and they moved to Tweedy and Pinehurst. And she had 6 kids. Seemed like that was still a growing area for them coming there. World War II, 55,000 people lived in Southgate by 1964. 1965, we all know that we had the Watts riots. Some were closer than others. Late 70s, we began to change. 1980s, the majority of Southgate became Hispanic, and today it's 93% Hispanic. And then we'll at some point talk about 1992, there was corruption in politics. And I might see if Kenny Eads or Ron Hunt-Rods, who were Southgate police, and I think there were probably others of you, maybe they want to talk about those times, because there were some, I was in Seattle, but some weird stuff happened. And the first principal at Southgate was a Floyd Hahn. Southgate High School opened 1930 with 500 9th and 10th graders and 27 faculty, 132 6-year high school grades, and they were 7 to 12 until 1941 when Southgate Junior High was built at Firestone and Otis, where it still is. Okay, that's all we're going to give you now. We won't go much history. The next one is going to tell you, well, I'll kind of give you a hint, what prices ran. Like you had to make, if you were making $7,000, or if you were making in the 50s $29,900, you could buy a house that was worth $7,400. And I'll go through the years on that. I found that kind of interesting. So that's where we've been today. I hope you guys, I know there's been some interest. I've asked, and I hope they're on there, both. Did you have something you wanted to say? You were moving.
Oh no, there's just like a. Don't worry.
I've asked both Brad and
Hey, Mom.
others
5
if they would be
minutes.
willing to put their videos on, and they said they would be. So please put on, and I do need your help, because this, once he's gone,
Why'd you laugh? You're happy.
once he's gone, I'm not going to have anybody to help me, and I do want to keep this going, because I think that we really did, the times that we lived there, Southgate has changed a lot. I know my cousin still lives there. My aunt still lives there. Some of you may deny it, but you still have family there. And I don't find that I find Southgate still Southgate.
Now it's time to play the Southgate national anthem.
All
I'm
right,
just kidding. There
so
is no national anthem for Southgate.
yes, there wasn't.
There is one for California, though.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Anyway,
I
so
love
we will
you,
get back with you later,
California.
and thank you again for waiting so long and being so patient. Hopefully he won't be around tomorrow, and we'll get the rest done. Thank you. Have a good day.